my name is Joanna, and today I'm going to explain diaphragmatic breathing and how to do the technique properly. You might have also heard the term belly breathing, deep breathing, or inner core breathing. I find during yoga classes very often teachers refer to belly breathing or deep breathing, and I find the technique often is not well explained and students are often wondering how to breathe properly during yoga classes. So let me quickly explain how our muscles work during our breathing. So if you can think about it as a cam. We have our diaphragm on the top. So when you think about where it's exactly located, if you tuck your hands underneath your ribs, that's where your diaphragm starts and goes all around. So that's our top lid of our breathing muscles. Then obviously on the front we have our abdominals. We have transverse abdominals that are working during our breathing. We have multifidus muscle that runs through our back, that also is engaged during our breathing process. And at the bottom we have our pelvic floor muscles. So when we breathe in the air, our diaphragm pushes down, it engages. Our pelvic floor descends down, it relaxes, and we are expanding our muscles to the outside, all around. Our back muscles, our transverse abdominals are expanding sideways. When we exhale, everything returns back to the midline. Our back muscles and our side and stomach, everything comes back to the neutral position. Our pelvic floor engages and lifts up, and our diaphragm relaxes and lifts up. So what that breath looks like, let me just show you here so you can see my lower ribs. So often when we just say, can you do belly breathing? This is happening. The belly is expanding forward and back, but none of those other muscles are engaged. So it's still a pretty shallow breath. However, when we start engaging the diaphragm and expanding our ribs sideways, we're engaging all of those muscles. So let's just see the difference. Inhale. The air comes all the way up to the collarbones, and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. So as we exhale, our belly relaxes, all of those muscles. Sometimes when we tend to pull our belly in and we hold it tight all day long, even on the exhale, we over-exhale and we engage those muscles. So I would like you to pay attention to making sure when we are on the exhale to relax those muscles here, and making sure our shoulder blades are relaxed and they're just lying on our back without any tension. So we're going to do maybe a little unusual technique. I would like you to lie down on your belly and place your hands, one hand on top of the other, and place your chin on your hands, like a little pillow. I find having that contact with your belly and your ribs on the floor, it really brings the attention and awareness to what's happening to your breath and how your muscles are working. So slowly inhale on the count of 4, send your air down to your lower belly, and then start filling up your lungs, expanding your ribs sideways, allowing the air to fill all the way up to your collarbone. And exhale, allow the air to leave, bringing all of the muscles back to the midline, relaxing your belly, relaxing your shoulder blades. And let's do one more. Inhale, send the air all the way down. And fill up your lower lungs, upper lungs, all the way to your collarbone. Expanding your ribs sideways and all around. You should feel the air coming even to the back. And exhale, slowly release the air out. Bringing all the muscles back to the midline, relaxing your shoulder blades, your shoulders, all of your stomach muscles. So why is it important to breathe deeply, and what does it really do? Very often we're just breathing shallow. The air doesn't flow all the way to our lungs, and if you remember the shape of the lungs, there's a lot of space. The lungs are actually larger at the bottom than they are at the top. So if we're only breathing at the very top of the lungs, the air never circulates in that lower part, so the air can become pretty stale. So when we're engaging all of those muscles, we're making sure that all of that air comes out and we bring the fresh air in. So the other way you can practice this breath is just lying on your back, and actually that's the most common way people teach it. So again, relax your legs, keep your pelvis in the neutral position, and you can place one of your hands on your lower belly, and the other hand you can place right underneath your ribs, like where that hole is between your ribs, or you can clench your fist and place it between your breasts. I like the clenched fist between the breastbone because I find it brings a greater focus for the expansion. So let's do a couple of breaths here. Inhale, fill up your lower belly, expand your ribs sideways, fill up your lungs all the way to the collarbone. And exhale. Relax your shoulder blades. Bring all of the muscles back to the midline. Relax your belly. And let's do one more. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to the collarbone. And exhale. Ribs are coming back to the midline. Shoulder blades are relaxed and melting into the floor. And I find once you master the lying down positions, it's often very good to start practicing the seated breathing. And for that, I usually encourage people to sit either on the pillow or sit on the block. Personally, I like sitting on the block. And what it does, just by elevating our hips, we're opening our breathing passage quite a bit. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it harder to slump as well because I'm sitting in more erect position. So let me show you sideways. So one of the things that's important to have that proper breathing and making it easy to breathe properly is making sure that our shoulder girdle is on top of our pelvic girdle. So you can see here, nicely aligned when my hips are up. But if I'm sitting on the floor, it's quite a bit harder. I have to push back. Again, we're going to do a couple of diaphragmatic breaths here. So again, you can place your hand on your lower belly, just underneath your belly button, and the other hand you can place underneath your ribs or on your chest. Inhale, send the air all the way down, then slowly start expanding your ribs sideways, filling them up with air all the way to the collarbone. And exhale, allow the air to escape, bringing down your ribs to the midline, relaxing your shoulder blades and keeping your belly muscles relaxed. Let's do one more. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This breath is very appropriate to practice at any time, and with practice you will find that it really gives you that great relaxation feeling. And very often when you start practicing it regularly, it will be your go-to breath whenever you're sitting in that erect position. So personally I find, even at work, as soon as I adjust my posture and I'm sitting straight, I return to the diaphragmatic breathing. However, when I'm hunching over, my breath becomes all erratic, and it's very hard to do diaphragmatic breathing in those positions. So I would encourage everybody to practice diaphragmatic breathing as often as you can. See you next time.